your computer with the SPSS. Okay. So okay. We'll go to analyze dimension reduction and go to factor. I think I want to show you SPSS. Okay, I'll show you SPSS. Okay. Go to analyze dimension reduction and choose factor. You can see my SPSS, right?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So you just enter all the items to here. Okay. And for extraction, we change it to principal axis factoring. Okay. Now I consider that we already choose the number of factors as 2 because we already checked for the script plot and eigenvalue previously last week maybe, right? Okay, so I choose to fix number of factors 2, but we're not sure which item goes to which factors yet. Okay, so based on script plot and and apa Kagan Kagan essay, we choose 2 factors. Okay, so continue, and for rotation I choose direct oblique, continue, and option. Okay, we suppress small coefficient. We want to see the factor loading more than 0.3. Okay, so we put 0.3 here. Continue, then okay. So here you can see the communality. Okay, you can see this is your outcome. The communality Q1, Q2 and Q12 have communalities less than 0.25. Okay, we say that more than 0.25 is acceptable, but 0.5 is recommended. But we have 3 items which have communalities less than 0.25. And here, looking at the pattern matrix for the factor loadings in EFA, we look at the pattern matrix. Okay, so the value here represents the factor loadings. Okay, for EFA, 0.3 is commonly used, but 0.5 is recommended. So you can see here, Q1 and Q12 not appear here because we already set the cutoff to 0.3. Okay, and we also can see Q2 and Q3 as factor loading less than 0.5. Okay. Okay, so we have a few poor items here, which is Q1, Q2, Q12. Okay, so we have to remove one of the item. Okay, remember you cannot remove altogether 2 or 3. You will have to remove the item one by one. Okay, then after you remove the item, you have to repeat the step again. Okay, so first, which item we decide to remove? Okay, now the smallest community is Q1, and Q1 also has low factor loading. So I decide to remove Q1 first because of low community and factor loading. Okay, so we go again to data reduction, factor analysis, and you remove Q1. Am I too fast? Can you follow me?
Doctor.
Tak nampak. Aduh, susah online. Okay, so you remove Q1. Okay, so you remove Q1 and see what happened to our communalities and pattern matrix we have three. I've mentioned before, we have to look at three things. Communalities, factor loading, and also factor correlation. Okay. Here we can see the problems. Q2, we have communalities less than 0.25. Q12 also communality less than 0.25. And for factor loading, Q12 also negative factor loading. That's negative factor loading, and also quite low. It's more than 0.3, but it has negative factor loading with the factor 1. Okay, and factor correlation metric, we have no problem with factor correlation metric because it's still less than 0.85. If it is more than 0.85, then it means that we have problem with the multicollinearity. I think you know what is multicollinearity, right? There's a correlation between the factors. Okay, we don't want multicollinearity problem between our factors. Okay, so next we decide to remove Q12 because this Q12 has a low communality and negative low factor loading with with the factor. Okay, so we remove Q12. Remember, we have to remove one by one item and repeat the steps. Okay, so go again to your factor analysis, then you remove Q12. Okay. Okay. Then when we remove Q12, we'll see that Q2 and Q3 have low factor loadings with less than 0.25. Looking at the pattern metric, Q3 cross-loading with factor 1 and factor 2, negative factor loading with Q1, positive factor loading with negative factor loading with factor 2. Okay, actually here, okay, for example, you can see here Q3 is negative in factor 1 but positive factor loading in with factor 2. Okay, then actually we have to check with our item that whether if we have many items, actually we can keep this Q3 in factor 2, as in factor 2. Okay, but in this case, I also checked with using R software. This Q3 has a high complexity, which is also not good. So I decide to remove Q3. So you just assume we have many items, even though we only have 12 items. Okay, so remove Q3. Q3. So Q3 we consider as low communality and cross-loading. Q2 low communality. So between communality and factor loading, it's better for us to decide on factor loading first. Okay, which item we want to remove first. Okay, so I decide to remove Q3 first. For this step, I decide to remove Q3 because of low communality and cross-loading. Okay, so I remove again, go to the previous step, remove Q3, and when I remove Q3, I can see only Q2 as low communality. The factor loading is fine now. All the factor loadings more than 0.3 for all items, and the factor correlation matrix also less than 0.85. Okay, so now Q2 low communality. So next, meaning that we have to remove Q2. Okay, So I remove Q2. Okay, again, like the previous step, remove Q2. Am I too fast? You tengah makan ni, lapar. Last. Can you follow me? Tak apalah. Tak apa, I faham. You punya kelas straight hari ni kan. Later ada kelas dengan Prof Kim lagi. Tak apalah. As long I think my lecture notes step by step, I think you can follow and then you can do it later, okay? But if you have any problem, just let me know, okay? So when I remove Q2, now everything is good. At the communities, all the communities more than 0.25, factor loadings more than 0.3, and the factor correlation also less than 0.85. And the total variance also increase. I don't show to you here, but actually I also check. If you run your SPSS, you will see the total variance from the previous step is smaller compared to this one. So, meaning that after we remove the items, the total variance here increase. Okay, so mean that so this is our last step. Okay, so factor 1 with the items Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7 and Q11, and factor 2 Q8, Q9 and Q10. Okay. Okay. So this is how you report your EFA result. The factor, the items, the factor loadings, and the communalities. Okay. Check the sorry. Are you still there? Hello?
Yes, Doctor.
I'm looking for. Okay, check. Any problem? Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. CFA. Okay. Okay. Again, for CFA, I just review the introduction of CFA. Basic introduction of CFA. So I'm not going to practical on conformatory factor analysis. If later you have a project with you have to do CFA, you can consult me. I can help you later. Okay. So for the lecture, we're not going to proceed with the practical for CFA. Okay. Okay. So what is CFA? CFA. After we do exploratory factor analysis, then we do confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so it's a type of structural equation modeling that deals with measurement model. Researchers specify the exact number of factors and the exact relationship between the items based on previous story or past evidence. Okay, and we test the theory about measurement model when there is sufficiently strong rationale. Factor loadings are generally estimated for those items that are predicted to load into the specific factor. So in CFA, we already decide how many factors that we want to confirm. Okay, in exploratory, we explore how many factors. In CFA, we confirm the factors, we confirm the construct. Okay. So in CFA, we have to specify the number of factors before we do the analysis. Okay, in EFA, we conduct without knowing how many factors and or which variable belong to which construct or belong to which factors. In CFA, we already decide how many factors that we have, and we want to confirm. Okay, so yeah, this is the next step for after EFA in the stage of confirming the measurement model, and it offers greater modeling flexibility than EFA. Okay, so in EFA, okay, here strongly driven by theory, evaluation of method, effect, the examination of stability or invariant of the factor model over time. Okay, so in EFA, sometimes when you do EFA for different population, in different population, you might have different factor. Okay, but in CFA, we already decide this is the factor and we want to confirm. Okay, does our theoretical measurement model fit the data and the strength of relationship between item and the factor? So we confirm the theory. Okay, so the application, confirm the measurement model of newly developed questionnaire. For example, confirm the measurement model of existing questionnaire in new population. Confirm the measurement model of translated questionnaire in new population. So we use confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, the EFA versus CFA. Please remember this. What is the difference between EFA versus CFA? I'm not sure. Yeah, because your exam is structure, right? You're not run any statistical software for your exam, right? So you not run the software in for your exam, right? It's structure or essay
Yes.
something. Okay. So yeah, what else can I ask you, right? So EFA is statistically driven. Theoretically for CFA, so in EFA, item looks onto all of the factors variable. CFA, item look in hypothesized latent variable. EFA model no need to be specified at initial stage. CFA need to specify in the initial analysis. EFA identifies smallest number of latent variables based on correlation among set of measured variables. CFA confirm the hypothesis. In CFA, rotation is used. In CFA, rotation is not used. EFA, explicit hypothesis not tested. In CFA, explicit hypothesis testing allow assessment of model fit. EFA, exploring. CFA, confirming. Okay? Maybe just have to remember a few items, a few difference, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, like two
Teacher?
difference. Yeah.
Do we need to collect a new set of data before we do CFA after we've done the EFA?
EFA, CFA.
So we need to do EFA before we do CFA, right?
Yes.
So before we do CFA, do we need to collect a new set of data after we complete the EFA?
No, I don't. I think no. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Can I confirm with you later?
Okay, doctor.
Okay. So this is for EFA model, example of EFA model and CFA model. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so this is the software to analyze CFA, and most you can use M+, SAS, and R. I'm not familiar with M+, plus, but I'm R user, so if you have problem, you can ask me. If you want to try to do CFA, I can help you by using R, not M plus. Okay. Are you using R software for analysis?
No,
No.
just SPSS.
Oh yeah. Yes, but actually last year also the student also asked the same thing. That's why I don't proceed with CFA for practice because you're not familiar with R. So let's say you have you're going to run CFA, then I can help you later. Okay. So basically this is the steps in CFA. Do descriptive statistic, check for normality assumption, because in CFA, if the normality is met, then we can use maximum likelihood. If it's not met, then we can use robust estimator MMR. Then we specify the measurement model, then we do the assessing for measurement of model validity and the composite reliability. So basically this is the steps for CFA. Okay, so yeah, this is result of this for CFA overall model fit. You have to check the fit indices. You can find out the recommended cutoff value here from Brown. So I give the reference here, and parameter we also check for the parameter estimate, the factor loading, and factor correlation, and non-class area of misfit. We have modification indices and the residual. Okay, so this is the thing that we have to uh, check for CFA. Okay, so we can do model revision to improve the model fit for CFA. Okay, okay. Sorry, sorry. Just now who asked me? Okay. So for sorry, I just checked with Dr. Erica here. Yes, you have to collect new data for CFA. Okay, you have to collect new data for CFA. Who asked me before?
Oh, okay, doctor. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Model not supported. Okay, so model to model comparison. Choose the best model. We compare the model that not involve item removal with yeah, I see. You know that smaller IC is better. Compare model. Okay, so this is the example of published research using CFA. You can check later. So actually, I am not the. To be honest, I'm not the expert of this CFA or SEM. Okay, our expert here in for biostat unit is Dr. Kuih Yi Cheng, Dr. Erica, and Dr. Arifin. Dr. Arifin is for the study now. So yeah, yeah, I can help you, but if you want to ask more detail, you also can consult Dr. Kuih, Dr. Kuih Yi Cheng. She is the expert. I think this is a paper also, and Dr. Wan Arifin. So these two people is the expert in SEM, structural equation modeling, and CFA things. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Also, the Kui paper for the Kui. So I have no paper on CFA. I'm not expert for SEM. So yeah, this example of Dr. Erica, Dr. Kui paper on CFA analysis. As you can see here, is the this is the value of model fit indices. Okay, so you can check later if you're interested. But I'm not sure project for um, cognitive neuroscience. Usually, I involved with cognitive neuroscience last year. Usually, last year that nobody used EFA or CFA for their research project. I'm not sure this year if you're interested in with the EFA or CFA analysis. Usually, research project for cognitive neuroscience, they involve like ANCOVA, repeated measure, ANOVA, repeated measure, ANCOVA, something like that. The general linear model, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, 20 students or more than that. No one used EFA or CFA for the analysis. But let's see if you're interested, just let me know. Okay? So any other question?
Doctor, for the for the exercise that we need to the task that we need to complete for the final factor, do we come up with our own name or use
Sorry?
for the exercise motivation, the data set that you gave to us, the final
okay.
factor, do we
No,
come
no,
up
no.
with our own name?
No. So, for the assignment, the exercise motivation is already has two factors with the mastery and what is the other one? Two factors, already have two factors. So I want you to check whether when you run the FA, is it you come up, is it valid these two factors? Is it really two factors need for this exercise of motivation questionnaire? Then uh, whether the item is whether the items goes to their own factors. Okay, so you no need to come up with your own factors. Just want you to check whether these two factors is valid measurement for exercise motivation. Okay, so you have just to check when you check for script plot, aggregate value, etc., doing and the item vector loading, etc. Is these two factors is a valid measure for the exercise enjoyment and mastery is a valid measurement for the exercise motivation. Okay, so please submit to me the assignment latest by this Friday. Is it okay with you? Because I just got to know that we have to submit your carry marks by 18. So the IPS suddenly they changed the date. So yeah, is it okay with you? Submit to me latest by this Friday,
Okay, doctor.
because I have to submit to a department by 18 or 17. So I have to check first your assignment. Okay. So yeah. And again, this Friday, before 5 please. Janganlah tengah-tengah malam, pukul 12 tengah malam. Okay, before 5. This Friday before 5 p.m. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, wait. I have to check everything. 1, 2, 3, 6. Anybody is absent today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
There's
11, 12,
one absent.
15, 16, 17, 18. Siapa? Who is absent?
Nur Akhtar.
Nur?
Nur Akhtar.
Wait, let me check the name. Nur Akhtar binti Abdul Razak. Okay.
Yes.
Last week ada juga seorang absent kan? Last week. Yang previous lecture there's one person absent, right? Tak apalah. Okay. Okay, any other questions? Sekejap je kan? Is it okay with you? Or any other question regarding statistics that you want to ask me? Any other topic? Engkowa? ANOVA, multifactorial ANOVA, linear regression, logistic. No more question. Okay. Thank you. Tak ada soalan No more question
Doktor.
Ya, terkejut saya.
Exam question macam mana?
Exam question macam mana pula?
Susah ke senang?
Actually, we just propose the questions but not sure whether they want select tak I punya soalan. Macam tu. So, I'm not sure how the question. Kan? Macam I punya, ada bagi hints tadi. Takkan nak repeat lagi. Tapi dia tak semestinya dia select my question lah. I tak tahu. Last year pun I tak tahu question I tu dia pilih ke tak. I'm not sure. So
ada hint tak doktor soalan exam?
Okay lah. Maybe the difference between PCA, principal component analysis and factor analysis, or the difference between EFA and CFA, macam tu je lah I tanya lebih kurang.
Okay. Thank you doktor.
Okay. Sebab susah sikit lah sebab tak boleh buat analisis kan. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Doctor, any tips from the ANOVA side?
ANOVA? ANOVA or ANCOVA?
ANOVA.
ANOVA. What do you mean tips? ANOVA?
Any questions pertaining to that we can...
ANOVA. But you don't have to run any statistical software, so I guess maybe do you do any manual calculation? No? Do you do any manual? Do you ada buat manual calculation tak? ANOVA?
No, we did the
SPSS.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe from I think how you interpret the ANOVA results. They give you the situation, what test you have to use, or they give you the output of SPSS or the results and how you interpret the ANOVA results.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Same goes to other ANOVA, the major.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, doctor.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for everything. Kalau ada salah-salah. Okay. We'll see you maybe during your research project presentation. I'm not sure. Maybe. Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay.
Doctor.